hello, I go like this.
Jazz hands.
Thank you so much for tuning to this video. Today we're going to talk about 5 things we would have told our college selves.
Yep.
Before we get started, I want to introduce a very special someone that came over today. Can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Nicole, aka Miss Nicole Uzo, aka the People's Victory, aka the baddest in the land.
Yes!
I am
now.
Daniela's most prized friend and, well, not possession, but her, favorite person to call all the time. All the time. And yeah. So
Nicole also has a YouTube channel, and we're gonna link it down below. We're actually doing 2 versions of this video, so make sure that you go watch the video on her channel.
For sure, go watch.
What do you talk about on your channel?
On my channel, we talk about everything, right?
Okay.
So we're talking about, it's basically based off the scripture, Galatians 2:20.
Yes.
We talk about everything, about this life that we live as young people in Christ and all that good stuff. So everything from makeup to poetry to discussion.
Yes, this girl can be a face, okay? So go on her channel and check her out. And let's get started.
All right.
Gotta get to me.
Alright, so the first thing that I would have told my college self is things would be so much easier if you just schedule. Now, I can't overstate time management enough, but this is the key to a successful college career. Like, the one thing that if you master this, your college experience will be like 10 times better than others that don't. Scheduling, time management, finding out, like, just balancing your time and managing your time will, like, put you in time.
Okay, so what I have to say about this is one of my professors did tell me one time that, like, you should go home every day and spend at least 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, rereading the notes that you wrote down per class, and that can save you about 2 hours of study time when it comes to an exam. So, like, for example, if you took a math class and you guys just learned this new equation or something, go home and practice that problem. Even if it seems really, really easy because you just did it that day, you're gonna thank yourself when it comes to exam time, because you're gonna remember, oh, I reviewed this and I rewrote this equation and I put myself some notes, and literally that takes 5 minutes. So that's definitely
that's key. And I'd say, like, honestly, when it comes to university as a whole, and a lot of the things you find people complaining about, legit, besides of course, like, maybe your professor just really sucks or certain, like, actual glitches in the curriculum, but I'm talking about things that a lot of college students end up complaining about, not having enough time to study for exams, or feeling like, oh, I guarantee you 90% of all complaints academically can be solved by time management. 100%. What you find is you're not procrastinating, whether it's studying or doing an assignment. When you can lay out your time to do everything, I think even more than even just, like, problems academically, but problems mentally can also be solved by time management. Because you don't feel overwhelmed when you've actually, like, if I've scheduled and I know that my week I'm gonna spend 30 minutes to study after every class, I know I have a meeting, so let me put that on my schedule so I don't oversleep, or so I don't do this. I know I have to wake up this earlier this day because I have 7 things planned out for that day and I don't want to feel stressed. Like, when you can accurately use your time, and time is money, time is a lot of things, right? It saves you stress, it saves you the feelings of being overwhelmed, it saves you so many different things because you're managing your time wisely. And it sets you up to have good grades, guys. Oh, for sure. Get those grades. A lot of the problems, honestly, you see are actually self-inflicted, because you get to the end you get to your midterms and you're wondering, oh my gosh, where did the time go? How do I... But realistically, you have time. Yeah, honestly, you have so much time in college. And it's crazy because I look back and I'm like, girl, I had so much time, but I used to complain about time all the time. But, like, I think one thing that really helped is, like, starting freshman year, because freshman year is usually, like, a lot easier than all the rest of your years, right? But if you get into a certain routine that you always do, like, say, oh, I take 2 hours after all my classes are done to review everything, and then I chill. Like, that's a healthy schedule. But if you're just like, you get home, you start watching that Netflix show, and you keep on going for like the next 5 hours, you're gonna fall asleep and then have class 8 a.m. and you're never gonna review. So I think that even when things feel easy freshman year, you should take that time to get in a routine, so that when you are faced with more like harder challenges for school, you already have at least like a time routine that you're stuck to
to help you like do better. The second thing I would tell my college self is that your career is not your whole life. Your career is not your whole life. I really wish I knew this, because I think going into college, I went in with like a, I don't want to say limited, but kind of limited mindset of, you know, I got into this school so that I can do well, get good grades, and get a good job. But realistically, that's not really what college is for. I think a lot of people learn everything other than like schoolwork in college. You learn more about yourself. You're supposed to anyway. Learn more about what you're passionate in, how you deal with people, how to live with people. Like the list goes on. And it's not, you're not forced to just focus on your career. I think it's a great thing to figure out what you want to do, you know, and like prepare yourself for that. But make sure that you're also thinking about how you're going to be outside of school. So something I always would tell myself is I should act like the person I want to be after school. But it was only like, oh, because I want to be a consultant. Literally, like, college, I want to be a consultant. So I would try to dress more like professional. I would try to like organize my vocabulary, do things that business people do, right? But I wish I also did that for like other parts of my life. Because when I graduated, I'm like, what do I like to do for fun? And thank God I had a spiritual life, so I knew like ultimately like my passion was to pursue the things of God and walk for Christ. But when it comes to like volunteering, I never did that. Well, I did that a little bit, but like I didn't really explore like the fun things that you're supposed to do outside of work and outside of your career. So I would definitely tell myself to do that.
Even outside of focusing on your career, like your career not being your life while you're in college, even after you're in your career is still not supposed to be your life.
Yes.
So
100%.
I mean, of course it's a big part. We're not gonna, you know, it's a big part, but even when, you know, that's why you find a lot of people that have just been, you know, you get out of college, you work for 60 years, don't really have any passions or anything, and then that's it. You know, but even while you're in your career, you need to learn how to, you know, have things that you enjoy, how to travel, or how to, you know, there's so many other things you need to learn how to do.
Like
even
other goals other than
exactly.
Career goals. So at my job right now, actually, at a client, one of these managers, she's been working there forever, okay? And she is like from another country, and she has a whole condo there. Her boyfriend lives there. She's like 65, and she's been working at this company forever, but like she doesn't want to leave because she like her job fulfills her. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to set myself up now so that I don't feel like that in 10-15 years or whatever it is that I'm working for a company, because you don't want the only thing that you're passionate about or that you care about to be your career. Like there's so many other things in life to be enjoyed. Like life is not just to come and work, eat, and sleep. Like there's places to travel, that's how many people to learn, and that's all people do.
How many people live is literally, and I think about it sometimes, like every single day. I've had people like brag about it every single day for the past 30 years. I've woken up, gone to work, come back, eat, and
for
sleep.
45 years. I have nothing to say about it. I just know I don't want to be there.
You have to see the world, you know, meet new people, try new things. There's got to be more.
I think that, and it just comes from research, right? Like watching what people do when they're like 25 and they're enjoying life. Like I definitely want to keep working, at least for now, but I want to find out what are those other goals that I want to check off my list. Like I don't want to just say, oh, I want to make manager. That's not enough. Like, you know, I gotta have other goals that doesn't have to do with my career that I can go and pursue. So I definitely tell my college self to start that then, so that I don't have to do it now. But it's okay, I still have time.
Exactly. So this next point that I wish I would have told my college self is to put yourself out there, try everything, and utilize every resource that your university gives. That third part is extremely important. We're gonna talk about it. So I say put yourself out there and try everything, not as and like more socially as much as I mean, you know, the things that seem odd. Sometimes, you know, I look back to my college experience and I'm thinking like I did a lot as far as like organizations and things like that, but they were all, you know, geared towards the organizations I did join, besides of course like campus ministry and things like that, where, you know, oh, I need to be a woman in business because I'm gonna be a woman in business. I need to join this business fraternity, or I joined like certain entrepreneurship clubs, and I did those, but it wasn't necessarily like fulfilling. I joined a mentorship organization because I wanted to have it on my resume. But like I wish I would have tried things that weren't for my resume. I wish I would have gone out and joined tea club because I genuinely like tea. You know, you'd be surprised because the kind of people you would meet in a tea club wouldn't be the same kind that you find in all of your business organizations. True. You know, I wish I would have joined Tom's club. There's so many different things that, you know.
I wish I would join a hiking club because I actually
something
love hiking.
Like that, exactly. Something that's outside of, because people, I feel like a lot of college students are now joining clubs okay, this needs to look good on my
that's
resume.
true.
This needs to,
do that too, but
of
you
course,
need to do
of course.
other things. Yeah,
but yeah, like explore the different things that your school offers, and then of course use every resource. I promise you, your college has like you're paying money to go to a school. You better not be paying to go sit in a class.
Facts.
Like, pay, of course, you know, pay your tuition, please. But like, make sure you're using the school for what they've used you. One of the most ones, the school will literally give you $500 to $1,000 towards you traveling. It can be at any conference.
Wait, that has to be for a group though, right?
No. The group they give you. No.
I don't even know about this.
Listen. The group they give you, if you're in student org, they give you $5,000 to travel, right? Of course. But individual students, there's a stipend, $500 to $1,000 to travel for any educational conference, self-development, anything like that.
I don't know about this one,
bro. I did. Like, literally, if you're going for any kind of, because a lot of people travel for, you know, networking events or conferences, or they feel like they would go to certain conferences, but I don't have the money to.
Yeah.
Your school might pay for it.
It's
Even
true.
some people. Like, literally, some people maybe, like, you genuinely, especially a lot of college students who are maybe working to pay for their tuition themselves. Maybe you're genuinely hungry and you feel like you have to, you know, that you have that image of the broke college student. Colleges have food banks, food pantries, right?
Oh, yeah, they do. That's
they have food pantries. Like, there's things that...
There's actually so much food there. I remember we went there one time. Yeah, they actually have a lot of
resources. And a lot of students
you don't have to
like
eat ramen.
Yeah.
You can actually get food. That's so true.
No, a lot of people even, I've seen people say like, oh yeah, they thought it was just like homeless people. No, it's for the students.
Yeah, that's true.
It's for, and now of course if you're okay, like don't go and misuse the system.
Yeah, go if you actually need it, yeah. So the next thing I would tell my college self is that everything seems bigger than it actually is. Like, it's not that serious, sis. Shout out to my sister, Intricate Beauty. Her name is Diane. She literally told me that college is 4 years of your life. Well, you plan for 4 years, you might go for more than 4 years, which is okay. But she was basically saying that, like, it's not a big part of your life. Like, I was like 18 when I started, or 17 when I started college, and she was like, look at the past 4 years, didn't they go really quickly? Like, look at this, it's gonna seem really, really long, but take these 4 years, give yourself a schedule, do well in school, and then get out. Like, it's not, when you're in it, like, you're gonna feel like everything is going so long, right? But actually, it's only 4 years of your life, so the emotions that you go through and everything like that, it's not gonna last forever. I feel like in college I always felt like I didn't have that many friends, so I started at like a Commonwealth campus at Penn State, and then when I moved my junior year, a lot of the people that I knew from freshman and sophomore year, like, they didn't move on with me. So it was always really hard for me to like look at people who had like a group of friends and, you know, had like, people to call whenever they were going through something or wanted just to study or hang out. I didn't necessarily have that, right? And I feel like I wish that I didn't make it such a big deal, because friendship is only one small part of college. It's very important, right? It's great to have friendship and everything like that, but I think I looked at it as like the quantity of friends that I have, not necessarily the quality of my friendships. Because if we're real, like, when you graduate college, a lot of people that you used to talk to in college, you don't actually talk to a lot. And I met this girl in college and I still talk to her, right? And she's like one of the 3 people that, like, if I'm being real, were really close to me, and I'm actually glad that I didn't waste more time. I'm not saying that having friends is wasting time, but like, depending on the quality of your friendship, it might just be a waste of time. So I wish somebody would tell me that, hey, like, just focus on the friends that you do have, cultivate those relationships and grow those, and it's not that serious. You're gonna graduate and you're gonna be thankful that you didn't waste time hanging out with people that weren't necessarily feeding whatever you were trying to do, like how whatever you were trying to grow into, or like just feeding your mind the correct way and not just telling you to do things that you didn't actually want to do. So if you're in that space where you feel like, oh, I don't have that many friends, or like, I don't get into that many things, I'm not in the mix or whatever, it's not that deep. Because when you graduate and you start working, you're not gonna have time to do all the stuff that we do in college. So like I was saying before, by like acting like who you want to be in the future, choose wisely who you hang out with, choose wisely who you choose to like put in your circle, and just keep it simple. And you're gonna realize after you graduate that, oh hey, I'm actually glad that I did that. Because now I'm so thankful that I like chose a couple of people to, like, you know, spend time with, because now I can have deeper relationships and not just like a lot of mediocre relationships.
Yeah, I think additionally, like with these tips, it's also important to, like, with, you know, being that really, when we say the phrase it's not that serious, like, it's really not. Because I remember first getting into college and thinking like my major was like everything, like, oh my gosh, if I major in the wrong thing, like, my life is gonna be ruined. But like,
they love saying that.
No, legit, I switched majors probably like 4 times. Not because, of course, get into the right place.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to do something unconventional or do something that's not the traditional path. Don't be afraid to, you know, they always tell us like not to do things for money. You know, because when I first got to college and I decided to, when I first got to the business school, I started to major in finance. I majored in finance because everybody around me told me that's where the money is. Granted, that may be where the money is. No, I said don't go ahead and pay for a $60K education to major in, you know, grad studies. Hey, if that's what you love, do it. But you know what I'm saying?
Like, if you have a plan, go for it. My thing is just that, like, people, I hate when people put others down for not having a traditional major.
Yeah.
If they have a plan, if they know what they want to do.
Yeah, if you know how to
major in engineering because engineers make money. Like, if you know what you want to do with that degree, go with it. Because you're not gonna love what you're doing if you're just doing it for money. Like.
Yeah, and so definitely, like, don't be afraid to do something like that doesn't seem, because, you know, actually, me getting into college, I was in the division of undergraduate studies to begin with, and so what that helped me was actually on the leadership council. So I was advising a lot of my peers and doing these presentations all the time. It actually helped me realize that whenever we would do the presentations, we would literally like show maybe the president of our school, or the head of the football coach, or the president of the United States, or whatever. And the question will be like,
skills that you don't get as well.
Yeah, and the question will be like, well, what did they major in college? And like the football coach in our school majored in like zoology. I think the president of the school majored in like some, I mean, like, your major is not the end all be all. Like, do what you love, have a plan, and move from there. You might actually end up, when you finally graduate, your first job is like according to your major, and your second year you're like, nah, I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah. And you move into something completely different.
That's so true. And then to go to what you're saying too, I feel like a lot of people who do major in those, like, you know, popular majors or whatever, tend to be limited. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you major in engineering, oh, I'm gonna be an engineer. If you major in finance, oh, I'm gonna do something in business. If you major whatever, like, you're gonna stick to like whatever that major usually does, because it's just like a natural rollover. But somebody who majors in something that's a little bit different and like doesn't necessarily have like a straight career path is challenged to think outside the box, challenged to think, what can I do with this? And I feel like that right there is a skill that not a lot of people have. Like, everybody wants to be told what to do. Tell me like the list I have to check off in order to like be able to do this job. What are the qualifications I have to have? But people who have like art degrees or things like that understand finessing. And that is literally the language of life, if I'm honest. Like, if you want to win in this society, you have to know how to finesse. It's not just clicking off the box, because that's just most people in the world. If you want to be outside of that box, you have to know how to finesse. And I feel like that's what people who don't do traditional majors actually learn how to do.
Oh, definitely. And even like when you get on around to it, you know, I really wish I would have told, well, if I could tell someone rather in college right now, is, you know what, at the end of the day, like, this video is just a video. So do what you do, right? It's never to tell anyone to do anything.
Our opinions.
Yeah, but, you know, it's always good to remember, you know, I always think anything, at the end of the day, anything, if we're talking about money, because you have to be able to take care of yourself. Not saying like, oh, go ahead and, you know, do something. You have to be able to, you know, get out of school, and of course, never about solely about money, but you have to still be. I just want to throw that in there, that there has to be the practical.
Because I majored in finance 100%, so I'm not saying it's bad.
No, because there has to be. You know what? Like there, like she said, a plan. You know, so just want to throw that in there. Don't just think like, okay, I'm just gonna wait. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
To make sure like you're not on the street. Yeah. You know.
100%.
I majored in corporate innovation and entrepreneurship.
She loves saying that.
You know, actually I don't, because people don't actually hear me the first time, so if you caught that, good job. But like, literally,
say it again for people.
People would actually always ask me like, oh, what are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that? Why are we so focused on thinking of majors as what we're gonna do with that?
Checking the box.
Like, I did something that I genuinely loved, like adored. Like, I felt like I got an education. I didn't go get a degree. I got an education. I learned things. I learned so much even beyond my major, and I would not trade it for anything, you know. And that feeling is like beyond. And now I've graduated, I realize that even some of the interviews that I'm doing and the offers and everything else that's coming along, they really don't care. If you have the skills and the experience.
Yeah, it's all about the skills that you have. Like, that's why I always tell people, I think it's all about a balance. Like, if you are in a really like high tech, like technical major, Find out what you can do to get the soft skills. If you are in an artsy major that's like you learn all your soft skills, you still have to understand the practicalities of life, understand how you're going to use whatever you have and apply it to something. So try to do something on the side that teaches you those technical skills. So I think it's really all about a balance. Like I don't think you can be all one or the other, because then you don't know how to communicate in society.
All right, so the last thing that I would tell my college self is finances. Learn how to balance those before you get out of college, because if you don't learn while you're still in,
it's not smart.
And a lot of college students, the reason I say balance it while you're in college is because college gives you this false sense of management, of being in charge. Not for everybody. Some people are genuinely out here like working and paying their tuition by themselves, but a lot of people, most times you get a loan or your parent pays for stuff, or a lot of people aren't paying like 100% out of their own pockets. So it gives you a sense of like, I'm in the real world, I'm paying my rent, I'm paying my bills, but you still have a safety net. Yeah, there's such a safety net. So we think we can spend the same way and just do whatever. But in the real world, or rather not the real world, college is the real world, but when you come out of college, like if you haven't mastered the skills of saving, of putting a certain amount away per month or per week, of having, security, a savings, rainy day, if you haven't mastered how not to spend on every little, I'm going out this weekend. Because in college, maybe you go out every weekend, you're spending money every weekend. You haven't mastered how to, if you don't master it then, you're going to think, wondering why is my money finishing every month? Why don't I? And it doesn't make sense because you're doing the same things that you were doing.
Yeah.
But it's not the same.
You now have real responsibilities. Yeah. You don't have a co-signer. You are your co-signer. So you really can't mess up. And something I always tell to college students is get a credit card, because you need to build that credit. If you want to graduate and get a house or an apartment and get a car, like all those things require good credit. Even if you're not going to use it, freshman year, get a credit card, or have somebody safely. Don't use it. Get a credit card and literally just don't use it, or like swipe it once a month or something.
Can I give a tip for that? Yeah. So the thing about it is, right, if you use a credit card, right, and you absolutely have 0% usage, it's not as, essentially, this is how, when I talk about safely using a credit card, if you're going to use a credit card, only use a credit card with money. Like your credit card should be equal to your cash. Yeah. So for me personally, when I first got a credit card and I didn't, I just opened it, didn't use it. They actually ended up closing it after a few years, and it negatively impacted my credit. When you get a credit card and you're literally used to, like, say you're going to dinner and you have the cash in hand, use the credit card, put that cash or whatever into the credit card, just pay it back right then. So that you're, essentially the purpose of the credit card or developing credit history is to show the government or whoever that you're responsible, that you can pay back. But only do it if you have it already. Don't think I can pay it back later. I can. Doesn't matter whether you can or not, because you are fooling yourself. Yeah. Pay it back.
I think another tip too is a lot of people, when they get to college, their parents give them another credit card, but it's their parents' name. Ask your parents to put your name as a, I can't remember what it's called right now. I will write it right here on that credit card, so that it's not your credit card, so like you can't use it widely, but when you do use it, or when your parents use it even, you gain whatever credit history your parents have here. But make sure that you have somebody, or if you're going to use a parent's credit card, have them put your name on that credit card so that you can start putting credit that way. And then when you trust yourself, then get a credit card and only use what you have in your bank account. And if you don't, then you're just messing yourself up for your future. So,
and if you're a college student and you have, because there's other ways to build credit also besides a credit card. But if you're a college student and you have, like, say, an apartment, a lot of college students after their sophomore year end up living off college. Don't miss your payment, but also report, because a lot of apartments won't report it to the credit bureaus. You can literally, I know there's a service, maybe $5 a month. You can report your payments, of course, they have to be on time, to the credit bureaus, and your rent payments that you're already making or that your parents are making for you,
any loan payments
count towards yours. Yeah, so those work as well.
That's all we have for this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you give us a big like. And also make sure to subscribe down below and join the notification squad so you can be notified every time I post my next video. Please check out this awesome, beautiful woman of God's channel. I will link her down below. And also, if you're watching this video, we actually have a part 2 on her channel, so go check it out. I will link it in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!